Governor J.B. Pritzker's invitation to testify in front of Congress about sanctuary policies, the back and forth over whether or not the state's going to get money, whether or not the state is going to be held accountable in federal courts, or what the next steps are here. But it's coming down to even you've got other state and federal agencies having to talk about cleaning up unemployment rolls to make sure there's not illegal aliens getting your tax dollars. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning as we give you multiple segments to digest. One thing that we did talk about briefly in the last segment is Illinois Republicans. They're actually putting out a call for people to sign a petition telling J.B. Pritzker, quote, "Don't be a chicken." And this is because they say that Pritzker's hiding from testifying in front of Congress. And with that message, they say if Pritzker has nothing to hide, he should have no problem standing before Congress and defending his actions on sanctuary status. But if he refuses, the people of Illinois will know exactly what he's trying to cover up. So they want him to go and testify. We have yet to hear if the governor is actually going to testify, but if he does, we will definitely be covering that, and likely we'll probably even post it live so you can track that as well at thecentersquare.com. So this comes as the governor and the officials out of Cook County and the city of Chicago are embroiled in a federal lawsuit right now where the U.S. Department of Justice sued the state over sanctuary migrant policies. And that's going back and forth. The states said that it should be dismissed. The feds said that they've released a illegal alien from Cook County Jail that was arrested 17 days later, accused of murder. A whole bunch of back and forth there. It's going to be interesting, and we'll continue to track that for you. But as that happens, Governor Pritzker's been invited to go testify in front of Congress. But you also have the federal government sending out letters to all 50 governors, and in the Department of Labor, the U.S. Department of Labor, sending out these letters. Here's one for Governor J.B. Pritzker. It says, as President Trump laid out in his recent presidential memorandum preventing illegal aliens from obtaining Social Security Act benefits, Executive Order 1421-8, ending taxpayer subsidization of open borders, it is critical we ensure American tax dollars do not go towards encouraging or rewarding illegal immigration in the United States. Our nation's unemployment benefits exist solely for workers who are eligible to receive them. To qualify for unemployment, one must be able to and be available to work, actively seeking work, and be legally authorized to accept unemployment in the United States. Unemployment benefits are not a handout for those in our country illegally. The Department of Labor says they understand the colleagues at the Department of Homeland Security. Secretary Kristi Noem wrote last week informing that Illinois can now use the DHS immigration database, SAVE, at no cost. The important system helps verify the immigration status of benefit claimants and it's a critical tool for the toolbox in ensuring the illegal immigrants do not access the nation's unemployment benefits. As a result of this change, the Department of Labor Secretary Lori Chavez de Reamer says that she instructed the Employment and Training Administration to send a letter to all state unemployment insurance administrators, urging them to immediately start using SAVE for every initial and continued claim filed. An individual who indicates that they are not a U.S. citizen. It goes on from there, and you can read the rest. So this is interesting because Illinois' unemployment office had, during COVID, so much fraud. And it was just revealed because there were U.S. representatives getting unemployment checks during COVID. And they're like, I didn't request this. So you can imagine, has that been cleaned up, first off? And then second of all, how rampant is it in Illinois of non-citizens getting unemployment in the state? Because remember, whenever they had that audit of the Illinois' non-citizen health benefit subsidy, they found a whole bunch of people who had Social Security numbers. And if they were documented, they shouldn't have been able to tap into this taxpayer-subsidized program of health insurance for non-citizens over the age of 42. We'll have to track and see what kind of outcome we get from this, especially from the federal government, if they're going to review this and do some cross-referencing and whatnot on names of individuals in the country illegally and such. So that's going to be interesting. But in the grand mix of all of this, All right, and the federal lawsuit against the state of Illinois, Congress inviting Pritzker to testify, the unemployment for illegal aliens coming into focus a little bit more, and I'm sure that's going to develop more. But then you get Governor J.B. Pritzker, again, continuing with some of the politics here, as we've discussed. Goes after President Donald Trump's administration for arresting a sitting judge. This made a lot of headlines at the tail end of the week, national headlines. But essentially, the issue is there's a judge that didn't allow for ICE to go into a courtroom to apprehend an illegal alien that was being released. And she had the illegal alien go through a different hallway. And then ICE had to physically chase this individual, I believe, across the court parking lot and whatnot. But it made a lot of headlines. And that judge arrested and charged. So Governor Pritzker and a lot of Democrats as well upset by that. They say that arresting a sitting judge is an alarming escalation of Donald Trump's war on the courts. Shortly after, Attorney General Pam Bondi went on Fox News to brag about it and confirmed this authoritarian administration is going to keep persecuting and prosecuting sitting judges. We do not have kings in America, Pritzker said. We do not accept propaganda as fact, and we do not let authoritarian federal overreach hold us back from speaking up for justice. America was built on a system of checks and balances where different parts of our government have the duty to hold the power of the others to account. Today is a reminder of the federal judiciary, Congress, and state to do our part in holding Trump and his lackeys accountable. While we must closely follow the emerging facts and details of the case, there is no question today it is an extremely unusual and concerning step in Trump's attacks against the rule of law. Listen, obviously the political overtones here very strong, but officials are arrested all the time across the country. We don't necessarily hear about it all the time. I could probably find 10 stories from the past year of, state's attorneys or assistant state's attorneys or judges all across the country. It's a big country. You could probably find some corruption type cases or people who, judges that got pulled over for a DUI or whatever the case may be. It happens. I mean, is this just part of it, or is it just because it's the issue of the immigration factor that's making this even more acute in the news? Obviously, all questions and things that we're going to be continuing to monitor, especially as we've got the ongoing federal lawsuits against the state of Illinois, Cook County, and Chicago from the Trump administration, trying to cancel out the state's sanctuary laws. And then you've got raids that have happened in Florida, raids that have happened in Colorado. Will we see a raid in Chicago where 100 plus non-citizens are apprehended and going through the process of deportation? Again, all these things we'll be watching. So hopefully you do like, subscribe, and wake up with us here with Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop, and you can get the show live, or you can check out the segments after the fact. You can get the podcast as well. Just search Illinois in Focus, but don't forget to get that newsletter in your inbox each and every weekday morning here with the Center Square.